Judy was boring.
Hello.
Then Judy discovered ChumbaCasino.com.
It's my little escape.
Now Judy's the life of the party.
Oh, baby, mama's bringing home the bacon.
Whoa, take it easy, Judy. The Chumba life is for everybody. So go to ChumbaCasino.com and play over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
Who remembers the BJ and Bill show all those years ago on WOLZ? Well, many have said they missed the show, and guess what? They're back. Welcome to the BJ and Bill podcast.
Welcome to BJ and Bill, the podcast, a part of the Podcast Playground Network. This, my friends, episode 64.
Sweet.
Is there a Beatles song, 64?
Will you still need me? Will you still feed me when I'm 64?
Well, nobody's feeding me.
Oh, I beg to differ. I could see that. I could see that chubby face, just like mine.
So some restaurants in the area are feeding me.
Are happy to bring you food. All you got to do is get on that little DoorDash app or whoever you choose, whatever food app of choice, and they are happy to bring you food for a price, of course. So well, there you go. So how are you?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm doing actually. This might be the best Monday I've felt in weeks.
And is any particular reason for that?
Yeah, I didn't watch any Buccaneers. I didn't watch any Gators football. I didn't watch any Warriors basketball. I feel good today.
So what you're saying is avoid TV sports and feel better.
Yes.
Well, only if you have a team. Because I get it. I did. Now, see, I had a great day because my Jaguars were awesome yesterday, and also and then as if fate knew who was watching the TV, they're like, oh, this game ended quick, let's get you over to the end of the Cleveland Browns Pittsburgh Steelers game. I'm like, sweet. And the Browns beat Pittsburgh Steelers on a last second field goal. It was sweet. I said that already. Gators got, well, the Gators, they're in a rebuilding situation. So they're not having a great year. No, they're not having a great year.
Their quarterback is now out for the season.
Yeah. It's going to be a tough one. Well, everybody's quarterback is out for the season. The Browns, Deshaun Watson, out for the season. The who else? It's like, please get Tom Brady on speed dial. The guy's got to come out of retirement one more time. There's so many quarterbacks out in the NFL. It's crazy. So.
Yeah, but Baker Mayfield is still there.
I lived through him for years in Cleveland, and is he just mediocre, or does he not have the pieces around him to give him the protection that he needs? I don't know. I can't tell. I don't know. What do you think?
I don't know. I mean, in the beginning of the season, I didn't expect a lot, and then he kind of showed up, and I go, okay, they might not be too bad this year.
Right.
But as soon as I knew they were playing the 49ers, I said, I am not even going to turn the television on today. I am not going to sit through this and go, I'm not going to sit through 2 or 3 hours of cursing. I'm just not going to do it.
Well, good. You avoided problems. All right, cool. Well, there you go. So I'm glad to hear that you're feeling well today. And it's, yes, I was actually, now don't laugh, people out there. I know, don't laugh, but I'm an old guy and I sleep in a lot. And today I was actually up at like 8 o'clock in the morning, which for me is very early. So I'm already mostly through my first cup of coffee. So when we take our break at the halftime part of the show, I'll have to go and refill my coffee. But yeah, I'm kind of feeling up and a little chipper today. I don't know what's going on. So anyway, we'll see.
Because your team's won.
My team's won. There you go. That answers it all right there. My team's won. I'm having a good week. I'm just deciding right now I am having a good week. So
my Warriors are even crap this year. And they started out strong too. Just like the Bucks. I said, hey, this is going to be a good season. And then all of a sudden, they just fell apart on me.
Yeah. NBA season is still real new, so you got time. Yeah, I think
got time.
you got time.
And I hope, I hope and pray that, Steph Curry will be healthy for the game when they come to Orlando to play the Magic. Because guess whose son sent a little text to Daddy saying, "Merry Christmas, Daddy." And it had those sweet little tickets on the screen where I could see.
Wow. Whoa, that is sweet. Nice. Orlando Magic and the Warriors in Orlando, which for you is close. I mean, it'd be pretty close for me, but yeah, that is sweet. Nice. Very nice.
Yeah, tell me I don't have the best son in the world.
You do.
He
do. Well, he pays us. So
he gives me daddy welfare for doing the podcast.
Right.
And now he's bought me tickets to go see my Warriors. Probably he'll bring. I didn't. It was like it just showed the screen that he had purchased them.
Right.
But I don't know if he's probably bringing his son, and probably be me and him. So it'll probably be the three Odoms.
Awesome.
3 generations enjoying a little Magic Warrior basketball.
Awesome. That is good for you. Good for you. I'm happy for you. So yeah, I hear you.
Now I know you were only 5 years old. I'm going to get the show started.
5 years old. Yeah, that would have been 1962, 63. Yeah.
This year marks the 60th anniversary of President John F. Kennedy's assassination. November 22nd. That will be, we recorded this on a Monday. So will that be Wednesday?
That'll actually be the day the show. That'll be the day the show drops. Yes. So today, as you hear this, as the show drops, the 60th anniversary, I can tell you exactly where I was and exactly what I was doing. And I'll bet you anybody who lived through it probably could as well.
I can tell you my story. You tell me yours first.
It was first or second grade. First grade, I think.
Yeah, because you would only have been 5. You might have been.
I would have
6.
been 5. First grade. St. Albert the Great. Wait, listen. I got the whole story. St. Albert the Great Catholic School, North Royalton, Ohio, west side suburb of Cleveland. Of course, a nun teaching. I went to Catholic school first 5 years of my school life, and somebody comes rushing into the classroom, pulls the nun out the door. They chatter. The nun comes back in. She says, "I have to go for a few minutes. Bill, come up here, sit at my desk, and keep an eye on this class." Literally. Yours truly did that. She ran out, came back in 5 minutes, and the whole school went and gathered in the lunchroom, and they pulled a TV in. Boy, does that sound familiar? BJ and Bill would do that 60 years later. Pulled a TV in, and we watched live from Dallas as the events of the day unfolded. Of course, JFK, John Kennedy, was the first Catholic president. So in a Catholic school full of nuns and priests, that was a really, really, really big deal. And it started the whole 60s thing. So there you go. So that's my story. I still remember it. Clear as day.
Now, I would have been 8 years old.
Okay.
And I don't know what grade I was in for sure, but maybe the lower grades, they did not want to tell the children.
Really?
Because, no one said anything to me at school. But I got out of school and I was in a small community,
right?
A rural community. So I took the bus, and there were high school students, middle school students, and elementary students all on the same bus back then.
So they sent everybody home?
Well, no, it was regular, the
regular day. Okay.
So I'm in the bus, and of course, obviously they told the older grades, or maybe my teacher just didn't think that my age students needed to hear that from their teacher. I don't know.
Okay.
But we weren't told in school.
Oh.
But I was told by an upperclassman the president was shot.
Wow.
And I can remember this to this day. The bus dropped me off. I walked into my house and looked at my mother and bursted into tears and go, somebody shot our president. And then, of course, we watched, the rest of the unfolding, as you say.
Yep.
On the news, because my mother was watching the news.
Of course.
But I never will forget that. I just busted into tears, and just cried like, well, I was a baby. I was 8 years old.
Yeah, you're allowed.
I basically cried like a baby. And, she hugged me and we sat there and watched the TV.
Right.
But I even remember, Oswald being shot. I remember all of that.
Yep.
My dad was into politics, so he was always watching the conventions. I remember Bobby Kennedy being shot at the,
Yep.
So I remember all these events, but yeah, I just remember getting off that bus after, an upperclassman said, oh, the president, they weren't, I don't know how all I remember is I walked into the house after hearing that and busted into tears.
Right. And of course, the world, remember, I mean, it's not like today. It's not like there were 40 different news channels 24/7. We all watched Walter Cronkite also break down and have a tear or two as he reported that. Absolutely. I mean, we all saw that, and yeah, amazing. 60 years ago.
Now here's my memory has lagged a little with me getting older in age.
Oh yeah.
Now, was he pronounced dead before you got out of school, or was he only shot?
I don't remember that. I mean,
because somebody may have said on the bus the president was dead. Now that I remember,
right?
Somebody shot the president. Maybe they just said shot the president. So when me
I don't know the timing.
Thinking,
I mean, we could look that up. I don't know the timing of it and how it unfolded in real time there. I don't know that, but yeah, I mean, it was literally, it was history in the making, and we watched it live. And that was probably, as a journalist and reporter in my later years, that probably would be the first time that a news story that big happened in front of all of us. I mean, the shooting wasn't live on TV, but everything else that happened after that, the follow-up, and like you said, Oswald and all that, Cronkite, all that stuff, live as it happened. And that changed everything. That changed the world, didn't it? It really, I know it did. I know it changed the world. So anyway, wow. Interesting story, BJ Odom. Interesting story for sure.
Now, I'm not a big believer in conspiracies, but talk about an event where there are just probably a million of them.
Yes.
And I don't know, it makes you wonder, but even I've even heard, the CIA did it.
Right.
Would that be the deep state today?
Yes, it would. Absolutely, it would. Absolutely, it would. And I have gone down a few rabbit holes in my time lately, last 3, 4, 5 years, since the the sickness that everybody got. And that has brought a lot of the conspiracy. I mean, nowadays you look on Facebook and it's like, okay, you can call it a conspiracy theory if you like. We prefer to call it a spoiler alert. It's like, in 6 months, this is going to be the truth. So the ones around the Kennedy assassination are some of the biggest. If you follow some of the people who talk about money and banking and cryptocurrencies online and stuff like that, there's a big, and again, I'm not saying I believe it or not. I'm just telling you what I have seen out there of people going down the conspiracy theory rabbit hole of the fact that, people within the United States government made that happen because he was trying to do things with the monetary system, with the banking system, with the United States currency and all of that stuff. And the powers that be with the money couldn't let that happen. So again, I don't, you can look that up on YouTube all you want, and whether or not you believe a word of it is up to you. But nowadays, the conspiracy theory stuff is just, It's crazy. It's I don't want to go too far down that rabbit hole. I guess I already have, but I don't know what you think about that, but just where you're at.
I don't know. There's a conspiracy on everything, even deodorant these days, you know.
Yes, there is. Yes, there is. On every deodorant. What? Wait, what?
I don't know. I just, I mean, that's what I mean. There's a conspiracy on everything and anything.
Everything and anything. Everything and anything. And the problem, not the problem, the funny, the amusing and problem is that there's so much of that out there that you don't know what to believe anymore. And I don't and you and I have talked about this in the past. Do you believe anything from anybody anymore? Because I kind of don't. I'm kind of like, yeah, okay, you say the sun's going to rise tomorrow. Maybe. I don't know.
Well, I would probably believe that conspiracy if I heard it.
That one I'll go with. I'll go with that. Yeah. So I don't know. So anyway, it's
the world
look
round
at that.
or flat?
What's that?
Is the world round or flat?
The world is, if the world were flat, it would. How are those people in Australia hanging on? I don't know. It's just unless it's all one. But if it's all flat, what's on the bottom? Or is it like, I think that's a Native American thing, or
it's the stand that holds it up.
Well, that's what I was saying. On the bottom is one of the gods is holding, like, isn't that Atlas? I don't remember. I don't. Yeah. Well, if you're a flat Earth person, go ahead and feel free to tell us all about that. I don't know, but yeah, you could. No, the Earth's round. I'm sorry. It just happened. It just is.
Now, I don't know if he was joking or what, but supposedly our good friend Shaq one time in a statement said that the world was flat. And I don't know if he was joking or if he was serious.
The man works for Carnival Cruises. He's a spokesperson for Carnival Cruise Lines. I'm sure he's been on a few cruise ships that have sailed around the world. Emphasis on around the world. So I'm pretty sure he knows that it's not flat. Although my favorite was Captain Kirk, William Shatner, when he got a ride on one of the little outer space missions. I don't know if it was the Amazon, the Jeff Bezos one, or the Elon Musk one, or whatever, that he took like a Post-it note or something, and he had a picture taken of him at the window, looking out the window of the spaceship. And the little Post-it note says, "Yeah, the world is round. I checked." I love that. So thank you, Captain Kirk, wherever you are.
Maybe it was just an optical illusion.
Oh, maybe it was. Oh, and see, there you go. How far down the rabbit hole do you want to go? There's more than enough rabbits and more than enough holes for everything, for anything and everything.
Early contests build momentum for 2024 contenders seeking the White House. C-SPAN offers unfiltered coverage of events leading into early primaries and caucuses. Get access to speeches and results with the free app, C-SPAN Now, or watch live on the C-SPAN networks.
Hello, it is Ryan, and I was on a flight the other day playing one of my favorite social spin slot games on ChumbaCasino.com. I looked over at the person sitting next to me, and you know what they were doing? They were also playing Chumba Casino. Coincidence? I think not. Everybody's loving having fun with it. Chumba Casino is home to hundreds of casino-style games that you can play for free anytime, anywhere, even at 30,000 feet. So sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com to claim your free welcome bonus. That's ChumbaCasino.com and live the Chumba life.
No purchase necessary. VGW. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.
As long as it's not hurting somebody else, do what works for you. Do what works best for you. I don't care what you want to eat. I don't care what you want to, whatever, do what works best for you, or believe, as long as you're not hurting somebody or the little furry animals, don't be doing that stuff. That's not good. So anyway, that's my story. I'm sticking to it.
Speaking of not hurting little feathery animals,
birds.
Of course, here we're talking, the podcast comes out on Wednesdays, which if you get it the day that it comes out, although you can get it, you can get it 3 weeks from now if you want to. But of course, the week we're recording this will be Thanksgiving weekend.
Yes. In fact, as this podcast drops, tomorrow is Thanksgiving. There you go.
And of course, we've been in radio most of our lives.
Yes, we have.
We've all had that favorite television show. And I think you know the one I'm talking about.
I do.
And the episode that every radio DJ loves as God, as my witness, I thought turkeys could fly.
Mr. Carlson from WKRP in Cincinnati. The if not the funniest half hour of television, I don't know what is. But oh my God, it was so funny. Oh my God. And I still hear, because I have Sirius XM radio, satellite radio. And one of the channels, one of the easy listening channels, they have that song in the rotation. They have the WKRP theme song because it's a full song. It's a full 3 or 4 minute song.
Oh yeah.
And it's a beautiful song. It's cute. I always either smile or have a tear or something when I hear it, when I sing along to it in the car. Yes, all by myself. I sing along to it in the car. And it just such fun, great memories of that show, of our careers, of all that stuff. And I remember my mother, I would talk to my mother, every week or whatever. And when back in the day, and we would talk about it because they watched it. My mother and father would watch it. And my mother would always be like, is that really what it's like in radio? And I went, yes, mother, it is exactly what it is like in radio.
The only thing that is not like radio, which I would always watch the show, scream at the television and say, where is your headphones? You can't talk up an intro song without your headphones on to hear the music.
Dr. Johnny Fever. That's right. But it was okay. I mean, did anybody ever wear headphones in it? I don't think
anybody ever wore headphones.
I don't think so either. But yeah, it was hilarious. Just so funny and so spot on. And so you and I actually, there is one picture, and I still somewhere have that one picture of you and I and Gary Sandy, the guy who was the program director.
Yeah, John. No, he wasn't Johnny. What was his name? What was his name? Oh gosh, on the show, Gary Sandy was his real name.
Gary Sandy was the actor.
Andy, wasn't it? Andy.
I think so. I can bring up Internet Movie Database in 2 seconds and let you know, but we'll keep talking. But yes, you and I interviewed him at
WOLZ, wasn't it?
No, because it was actually at
was it at Grooven? Because I know
it was at Grooven. It was at Grooven. Yes, because the picture that I remember seeing, it was different. It was all right. He was Andy Travis. Andy Travis was the character name at WKRP in Cincinnati. So there you go.
Yeah, we had him on the air as an interview. It might have been.
It was definitely at Grooven Oldies. No, it was definitely, because I have the picture. It was definitely at Grooven Oldies. I know that for a fact.
And his last name was I can't. What was the GM's name there? And why can't I remember it?
What do you mean?
Kelly something.
Mr. Carlson.
No. Our general manager.
At Grooven Oldies. He and I are friends on Facebook because he and I both went to Ohio University. Not that far apart.
Old.
I mean, not that many years apart.
I hate being old and can't remember these things. His last name was Kelly, I think, or was it his first name?
Yes, his first name is Kelly. I forget. I'll look it up. Like I said, he and I are still buddies on Facebook. Is there any chance I find him on Facebook just by going to Facebook?
Well, what you can do,
Kelly McGrath.
That's it. Yes.
Whoa,
Kelly
Bill.
McGrath.
Ding, 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 ding.
But
wow.
When we had, Sandy, which was known as Andy on WKRP,
right.
He used to say, "Oh, that's what got me into radio was that program."
I believe it. It was probably what got a lot of people into radio. A lot. Yeah. Now, for me, it was listening to my favorite radio station. Was listening to the Buzzard in Cleveland. WMMS, the Buzzard, and they had a morning radio guy, they basically had a morning radio show kind of like you and I did, except they did it with, album radio back in the day on whatever, and you and I did it for oldies, but it was kind of the same sort of funny, bantery stuff going on now and then. So yeah, it was good.
Yeah, I think listening to radio is what kind of got me into it, but I will tell you what got me into radio, if you really want to know, and I think I've told this story. It's a girl.
It's always a girl. Well, it wasn't for me, but okay. It's always for you. It's always a girl. I don't know that we've heard that. Give us a warm up on that or a refresher.
So I'm living in a small town.
Yes.
And a girl that her father owned the local radio station.
Oh.
His name was Bob Becker.
Mm-hmm.
Her name was Terry Becker.
Terry Becker.
And she came to me and she says, you know what? I want to start, because I was always into like drama, the drama club, Well,
you are a drama queen. Yes, I know. So
yeah, my goal in life was not to be on the radio.
Uh-huh.
My ultimate would have been in Hollywood,
right,
making either sitcom for television or movies. That was my dream job growing up.
Mm-hmm.
I was even going to go to school for drama
to
even become more of a drama queen than So she comes to me and she goes, we want to start a school review. I'm going to get about 4 or 5 kids, and we're going to do a show on Saturday mornings, and we're going to interview like coaches, athletes from the school.
Mm-hmm.
We're just going to interview people, teachers,
on
things
her
going
daddy's on daddy's radio station.
Yeah. And it's going to be 2 hours. It's going to be from like 10 to noon every Saturday.
Cool.
And I go, oh, that sounds like fun. Yeah, I would be more than happy to be a part of that, because that sounds like something,
Sure.
Sounds like fun to me. So I'm in this show, and then I start, after the show is over, I start watching the gentleman who comes on after the show, because he was like, we were in a room. He basically engineered it. He sat in there, and we were in the little room with microphones around us, because they did a morning talk show too there.
Right.
So, we were in that room, and we were, we'd do our little show. And I would then started sticking around after the show. All the other kids would leave and the guest would leave, and I would stick around and talk to the gentleman who, was on the air.
Right.
And, I probably did that maybe for a month or two. And he said, why don't you come over here? I'll let you push some buttons. I got to go do something. Probably was going to go do a commercial.
Right.
Why don't you push these few buttons? And so I pushed those few buttons. And then, like he said, tell you what, I'll go in the other room. I'll let you push the buttons and I'll talk. So then I was like, kind of like a big station, where you have an engineer that does does all that stuff. And all you do is sit there and, tell the information you need to tell. So I did that for a while. And then finally, he said, I'm working 7 days a week. Cause it was a small station. He was working 7 days a week. So he went to Bob Becker, who was, the big guy, and said, hey, he's really interested in radio, and he's doing a great job with me. And how about we give him an air, because he actually started letting me talk after a while. Obviously he got permission, but he let me talk for, I'd do like an hour or something like that. So then finally went to the boss and said, I think he's got it down. Why don't we give this guy a job on, Saturdays after the school review?
Right.
And, I can have a day off. So that's what happened. That's how I got into radio. And then, as I said, I was going to go to college for drama and acting. And the general manager came to me just like a month before I was going to leave, say, such and such is leaving. I have a full-time position now. If you would like to have it, it's yours. That's what it pays.
Right.
Which, we're talking back in 1974, people, $100 a week. Woo. And I worked at an AM daytime station, which meant I went on every day. I think it was 2:00, 3:00 in the afternoon.
Right.
And in the summer times, I got off around 8:15, because that's when, the sun went down and you had to sign off the air.
Sign off the air.
In December, I was on from like 9:15 to 9:45, I think, or I mean, 3 to 3:15, 3:30. I don't know.
Right.
But I made my $100 a week.
Sweet.
So, that's how I got into
That's how you
radio.
got started. I worked at it's not where I got started. It was in Phoenix, but I worked at an AM daytime station in Phoenix, and I was the morning guy. So I would sign it on. So I had the other side of it. I would sign on at some, whatever the morning time, it was because it was always, it's not when the sun comes up. It's when the FCC, the Federal Communications, says the sun comes up that matters. And you push the button and fire up the transmitter and play the national anthem and you're on your way or whatever. And so, yeah, you'd have to different times, different hours, different whatever. So that was how a couple of different jobs in Phoenix. So yeah, that was interesting. Mine was at college, of course, but yeah. So, and that's when I was a journalism major. I mean, that's my major. So that was my thing. But then I discovered that you could work for a living as a journalist and go out and write stuff and talk to people, or you could just sit in this room and talk to yourself and people paid you pretty much the same thing. And it was like, really? I can just sit here and talk and they pay me? Oh my God. Well, of course you didn't get paid in college, but later on. So it's awesome. Awesome. A little bit of history there. Boy, we're doing big time history today. Look at us from 60 years ago today, with not the best of memories, but all the way up to now. Awesome stuff. We're going to take a quick break because I badly need to refill this coffee because, like I mentioned, I was up early today, so I've already gone through my first monster cup of coffee. I have one more waiting. So you go and refill your coffee or whatever, but just make sure you're back here in just a few seconds because we will be right back.
It is Ryan here, and I have a question for you. What do you do when you win? Like, are you a fist pumper, a woo-hooer, a hand clapper, a high-fiver? I kind of like the high-five, but if you want to hone in on those winning moves, check out Chumba Casino. At ChumbaCasino.com, choose from hundreds of social casino-style games for your chance to redeem serious cash prizes. There are new game releases weekly, plus free daily bonuses. So don't wait. Start having the most fun ever at ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.
And welcome back. I'm Bill Stevens, along with BJ Odom, and this is BJ and Bill, the podcast, coming to you live from a iPhone near you somewhere, or maybe not live. It could be, who knows, weeks later. We appreciate you being here regardless. Either way, feel free to leave a great 5-star review for us wherever you get your podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you are. It don't matter. You can leave a review, and you can check us out at our Facebook page. Just type into your Facebook search BJ and Bill Podcast. Remember, spell out the and, BJ and Bill Podcast. There you go. Boy, we've been doing a lot of history this morning.
Yeah, talked a little bit about, Thanksgiving and WKRP.
Right.
Do you have any special plans for Thanksgiving, or do you have any traditions that happen? I don't know if there's, is there Thanksgiving traditions? I don't know.
There used to be. I'm not sure, but I would guess that some families still have that. We used to, when I was, and again, going back 50 years, when I was a kid, boy, we had a big family get together, usually at my mother's sister's, my aunt's place. I don't know why we had it there. Our house was usually bigger. I don't know. But anyway, with 3 or 4 aunts and a grandmother and 3 or 4 nieces and nephews and parents, the whole thing. And yes, so much food. It was insane. So yeah, we all did that. Nowadays, no, it's just me. It's just me in my little man cave of an apartment here. And my lady friend is with her mother in Georgia, helping her out. And so I don't even know if we're going to be getting together this Thanksgiving for anything in particular. She's supposed to be back the weekend, the weekend after Thanksgiving, but I don't know. So that's still up in the air, as they say. How about you?
Traveling to Fort Myers, Florida.
Ah, good to visit the son and the grandkids and all that sort of thing. Awesome.
Yeah, so we'll be having Thanksgiving there. I remember when I was a kid, though, like
Mm.
you said, and it seems like people don't do that anymore. Of course, all my kinfolk really is in Indiana now.
Right.
But back when I was a kid, at least on my dad's side, I remember this. But all of his brothers and sisters, all their, kids and their kids, and, even some grandkids, there would be like 40, 50 people. And we would all, maybe not 40, I'm thinking, at least like 20, 25, 30 people.
Right.
And we would all get together at, somebody's house, and and I don't want to be, I don't want to be a sexist or anything, but, I lived out in a farm community. So all the women folk would all, get together, and they would all be, cooking up in the kitchen.
Right.
And then they'd call the kid, the kids would usually, go somewhere and they'd have their table. The adults would have a table, and,
Right.
the little kids would have a table, and it would happen like every Christmas and Thanksgiving,
Sure.
like clockwork, and maybe even Easter too, but you don't hear about that anymore, really.
No. For Thanksgiving and Christmas, definitely for us, same thing, probably 15, 20 people. Usually on my mother's side, because that, it was my mother had, when they were all alive, at 3 sisters. So, it was the 4 of them, plus a couple, plus grandmother on my mother's side. She was alive for a while there as well. So yeah, it was exactly. I mean, and I think what you just said is probably the issue, or the thing nowadays, is that people are spread out everywhere. That's not a good thing. It's not a bad thing. It's just the way it is. People are spread out, like I could go and have Thanksgiving with I have 2 cousins left in Ohio, and they get together, and they usually 2 ladies, and, one of them has Thanksgiving dinner at her place for one or the other. And they're usually like, if you're not doing anything, you can come for Thanksgiving. I'm like, yeah, I'm probably not going to drive to Columbus, Ohio from Gainesville, Florida for Thanksgiving now, if I had time, and well, time's not an issue when you're retired. If I had a little more, money and desire and whatever to travel and whatever, because I'm not going to fly. That just doesn't sound like fun anymore. Flying just doesn't seem like fun. I would drive if the weather was, blah, 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 all these excuses that you make. So I don't know. I'm okay with being here by myself, grilling a couple of steaks outside and watching football during the day. And I'm fine with that. I really am. So I don't know if I'm weird or what.
Well, if you get lonely, come to Fort Myers. I'm sure that my son will have more than enough food on hand.
I'd be happy to. Yeah, that'd be awesome. So that sounds good. Yeah.
But yeah, because he's one of those guys that, I don't know if he's going to host a holiday celebration and he's going to have, let's say, 8 people.
Right.
He's going to have food for 20. And if he's going to have 20, he's going to have food for 40.
Wow. Really?
That's just how he seems to roll.
And that's okay. He lives in a state of abundance. I love that. That's good for him. Good for him. So yeah, good. That's good.
And that's one other thing where I'm lucky, I believe, because I talk to other people. I believe it or not, yeah, I'm kind of a hermit, but I talk to other people.
You talk to other people. That's okay.
And they, my age, and they have children.
Sure.
And they'll say, oh, we have a son in California. We have a daughter in, New Jersey.
Right.
We have a daughter here it's like if they've got 3 or 4 kids, they're in 3 or 4 locations nowadays.
Yes.
I am very blessed. I have a daughter that lives not far down the road from me.
Right.
And then I have a son who's in Fort Myers, which, is about a 3-hour drive.
Right.
And we probably make that drive at least once a month, if not once a month, every 2 months. But coming up, we were just there for Susan's dentist appointment. Now we're going to be there again Thanksgiving.
Right.
And then we're going to be there again probably around Christmas. So maybe I can talk him into coming up here.
Right.
Or, and then after that, Susan's going on a little excursion with some of her girlfriends think they're going to fly out of Fort Myers, so probably spend some time with him then. So
Awesome.
I see him often.
That's great. That really is good. That because you're right, because even when things were reversed, I mean, when I was your son's age or younger or whatever, and my parents were in Cleveland. They weren't big travelers. My mother didn't like to travel that much. I think my father didn't mind it because he did it for his job a lot. But I mean, literally, they came to see me in Fort Myers twice, in 8 years or something like that when I lived there. So if the point is, if I was going to go see my parents, I was going to Ohio. And there was a time back in married days when everybody was alive and well and all that stuff that, my then wife and I would pretty much make the trek every year to Ohio because my parents and her parents only lived less than an hour apart. So we could see everybody, cover all the bases, do all the dinners, do all the Christmasing, all the everything, get back on the plane, fly back to Fort Myers, so that was good for a while and, cool. But everybody's gone now. So, I got two cousins one in Cleveland, one in Columbus. I got a niece and a nephew. My nephew's in Seattle area now, and my niece is in Southern California now. So exactly. I have exactly what you were talking about. I got people everywhere. So what happens? Nothing happens. You can't go see them all or whatever. It's kind of one.
Well, I was lucky too that my parents were snowbirds. So I would see them in the wintertime, and my brother would see them in the summertime.
And my ex-in-laws were like that. They would come to Fort Myers Beach January, February, March every year. And they did that for 10 years. I mean, and would, rent a place and had a place rent. Of course, now it's been wiped off the map, wherever they used to stay. But yeah, so we would see the in-laws, my in-laws, her parents, we would see them pretty much every year while they were still able to travel and healthy and all of that. So yeah, it was good. It was good.
Oh, expect some dogs to go crazy.
Uh-oh, I hear dogs. I think I hear dogs. Did I hear a doorbell? What's that?
Yeah, the bug guy is here, and the bug guy has rang the doorbell.
Oh boy, bug guy doorbell.
My wife is on the phone. Things are going to get crazy here because I can hear her in the background. But I think I think the bug guy actually, even if we don't come to the door, because he does everything outside unless we have a problem inside.
Okay.
And then now we're going to have a problem though, because he's going to go out on the lanai and he's going to,
do his bug thing.
Get all the cobwebs down.
Yes.
And the dogs will go crazy. And I am saying dogs because we have our daughter's dog today because she's a little under the weather.
Okay. So you're dog sitting.
Yeah, no, I can wave to him because he can see.
You can wave to him. He can wave to the bug guy. So for those not watching this for those of us not watching the video, BJ Odom now waving to the bug guy through his window in his office at his house.
And I know people, excuse me, the bug guy's juice must be getting to me. No,
the bug guy's getting to him.
But I'm thinking people, like in the Midwest and they go, bug guy. But in Florida, you got to have a bug guy.
Oh, yeah. You have to have a bug guy.
Here they come. They heard the bug guy in the front. Oh, they're all coming.
Oh, my gosh. Here it goes.
All right. You guys can go settle down now. The bug guy is out of the front.
Oh,
now he's going to go to the back so you can get excited again.
Now they're quiet. Yeah, maybe they'll kick up in a minute here. But yes, bug guy. That's it. It's one of those things that it's like Florida life that you don't even. It doesn't even register as anything weird now. It's like, okay, bug guy. Of course you get a bug guy. You got everything else. If you don't have that, I know here at my apartments we got a bug guy, mostly does outside, but if you see anything inside, you just drop them a little maintenance request. They'll come in and spritz the inside. But I keep a pretty clean ship around here, so it's not a real problem inside. But
yeah, that's the same with our bug guy. He only does the outside.
Yeah.
Unless, you give them a call or whatever and say, hey, we're having a little problem inside. Then they come and work on the inside. But usually they just our bug guy's really good though, because he has like a broom or whatever. Not really a broom, but kind of like a broom. All the cobwebs and he goes around the top of the ceiling and everything, gets everything out of the lanai and the screened in areas.
He's
a good bug guy.
He's a good bug guy. I have, yes,
if
I
any
know.
wasps
I
are
know
starting to
that-
make little, houses, he gets rid of them.
I have a can of wasp spray at the ready because for some reason they just don't get the hint that out on my lanai in the front where the front door comes in, they up in one particular corner. I don't know if there's something special there in that corner or if it's just out of the sun or out of the heat. I don't know. But one corner, I go out there about once a month and there they are hard at work building a new nest. And I'm like, sorry, guys, bug spray time, wasp spray time. And they just don't get the hint. They don't get the hint to try to move somewhere else. They're going to keep coming back here.
I don't know what our bug guy does, but he always, we don't have the problem. I know
Yeah.
we've had the problems when we didn't have a bug guy.
Right. There you go.
But
All right,
our
bug guy. What else?
seems to-
What else?
I guess we're done with the bug guys.
We're done with bug guy. We can bug out on that. So yeah.
Oh, can you hear that? They're in the back now. Oh, look out.
Oh, you thought you were done with the bug guy, but you're not. Okay, fine.
I thought I was done with the dogs. I could talk about this.
What's that?
My new Christmas present, which I'm still learning. This is quite the learning curve.
BJ Odom has a new
BJ.
tablet in his hand.
BJ, he's a tightwad.
Yes.
So I got the Fire tablet
Yeah.
from Amazon. It even has Amazon's logo
Of
on
course
the
it
back
does.
of the tablet.
Everything in the world has Amazon's logo on it.
And so, this one basically, I guess, is like an Android.
Yes.
So I used to have iPads. I have iPhones. I got, I had, Apple computers.
So why did you feel the need to cheap out and get a non-iPad?
What word did you use in that sentence?
I used the word cheap. Yes, I used the word cheap.
Now, do you have your answer?
All right, Mr. Cheap. I hear you.
I paid $69 for this.
$69.
Where the Apple iPad same size.
Add a 0 to the end of it.
Yes, basically, maybe even more than that.
Maybe. I know. I hear you. Where's mine?
Probably costs around $1,000 nowadays.
I have an iPad. I've had it for about a year, and I think I paid $7.99. I think, and it was not a fancy.
$1,000 now.
They're probably about $1,000, probably. So all right, so you got this new Fire tablet. What will you do? Because most people, I get it. I understand I understand what most people think is like. All I'm doing is watching YouTube videos, or reading a book, or checking my email. And you can do that on a cheap tablet just as easily as you can on an iPad. I understand. Is that what will you use yours for?
Facebook. I will also use it, like you said, I've got all the streaming services that we have.
Right.
And of course, my cable TV or whatever you want to call my live TV is Hulu.
Yes.
Hulu right here on this. So as long as I have internet, now this is not attached to any wire company.
Right. My iPad is not that yes. My iPad is Wi-Fi only too. Yes.
That's what this is. So all I have to, I can watch movies. I can watch TV shows. I can do anything I can do with my television. I can look at Facebook. The only thing I can't do is answer this. If my phone rings, I can't answer it.
Right.
Maybe there's a way. I'm still trying to learn that. And I don't also, if someone sends me an instant message, like what do they call it, text message?
Right.
It doesn't pop up on this.
If you used a different app, if you used like WhatsApp or something, you might. And if you used Facebook Messenger.
Yeah, I don't use Facebook Messenger.
What's that?
I don't really use Facebook Messenger.
Okay. Well, you were talking about making calls. Like my niece in California, she has a phone, but she uses Facebook Messenger. I don't know why. But when we talk, it's usually a video call through Facebook Messenger, which as long as maybe that's it. Maybe she just has Wi-Fi. Maybe she doesn't. Maybe she's on. I don't know. I haven't talked to her. So you could, if you put the Facebook Messenger app on there, you could make calls and send messages that way. But no, you can't like do a phone call. No.
Yeah, and
who uses the phone anymore?
and I wouldn't do that anyway, probably, unless someone, the only time, but I'm going to have my phone next to me. It's just, I'm not going to be,
Right.
doing all that stuff.
Right.
So, if my phone rings, I'll have to pick it up, or if I get a text message,
Right.
I'll have to pick it up, but I'll do everything else
On the
on this.
tablet.
And what's cool, I can go on here and look at everything and do everything that I need to do,
Sure.
and not have to do what you're going to see now.
Put his
Don't
glasses
have to do
on.
that.
Put his
I
glasses
can do it all
on.
without the glasses, because the print is larger, because it's the screen like 2-3 times larger.
Good thought. Good plan. Yes. I know many of my clients back when I was doing my tech support thing. Many of my clients, that's the first question. How do I make the damn text on the iPhone as big as it can get? I'm like, well, you can make it really big, but you're going to read like one word at a time. It's like, okay.
Oh,
whatever.
I tried that with this thing, and I noticed that.
Yeah. One
Because
word.
I do like to check, even though I didn't watch Sunday, I like to still look at the NFL scores to see who's doing what, and the NBA scores just to see
Right.
who's doing what.
Right.
I had it on larger print, and it's like, how do I find out what the score is? I don't.
Right.
Whose score is this?
Right.
So I had
Right.
to downsize it again. So
Okay, cool. Well, there you go. Well, we look forward to figuring out your little Fire tablet there, or whatever the heck it's called. And so, yeah, cool. Well,
Yeah, that's
awesome.
what it's called. It's called a Fire HD 8.
Okay. I'll look it up. I guess I will. And if you thought about it, I mean, I was thinking that when you said, the only thing you can't do is make a phone call. Who uses the phone for a phone call anymore? Who uses their $1,000 iPhone to actually make phone calls? I mean,
Me.
yeah, us old guys. Young
I don't
people?
I do not have what they used to call landmine.
Landline. Landmine is a little different, but yes, landline.
Here, let me answer the.
Oh, look out. It's a landmine. I mean, a landline. Okay, fine. Yeah. But I hear you. So you're right. I haven't had a quote unquote landline phone since married days. And I think literally my ex just got rid of her landline phone like in the last year or so, I think. So pretty crazy. But no, I haven't. Not at all. But what I'm saying is, if all you had was that little Fire tablet for $100, and you put the WhatsApp app on it and you put Facebook Messenger on it, you wouldn't need a phone. People could call you through one of those things, one of those apps.
But would my number work, or would I have to have a different number?
No, you'd have a different. You would. Facebook Messenger doesn't even. Well, I think you can set it to use a phone number, but it uses email addresses. But it doesn't matter. As long as it connects, it connects. It doesn't, it's like FaceTime with your iPhone. You can call somebody through FaceTime with a phone number, with an email address, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I've noticed that, because every once in a while my cousin will FaceTime me, and it'll always be her email address that pops up on the screen.
Yeah. So you can do that. That's not. I'm just thinking out loud here. I'm like, geez, do I even really need my $1,000 iPhone, or could I just buy a Fire tablet for $100, a little one, and put a couple of communication apps on it? And it's like, who needs a phone? I mean, nobody ever calls me that, whoever calls me anyway, it's like, okay, the people that call me, they could use FaceTime, or they could use WhatsApp, or they could use Facebook Messenger.
Yeah, but they'd have to know.
I think we're onto something here. I don't know. Anyway.
Something for you, Mr. Computer Guy, to look into.
Yes, absolutely. I'm thinking hard about that, because you could get an iPad mini. I mean, they're still expensive. You could get one of your little Fire tablet thingies. Did you literally say that was less than $100?
Yeah. Of course, I got it I got it like 2 days ago, which was
Black Friday.
Quote Black Friday sale prices.
Black Friday sale. Yeah.
And I got I think it's still under $100.
Wow.
I think it's they're $89. Normally I got this one for $69.
Incredible.
So $69. And it's a nice piece of machinery.
I'm sure it is. I'm sure it is.
But I'm still learning it because, like I said, I've always, well,
Right.
not always, but probably for the last, when do people start getting, the little smartphones? How
Oh, it's
long have
been
these little
15 years.
smartphones?
Yeah.
So probably for the last 15 years, I've been nothing but iPhones.
Yep.
And I had an iPad before.
Right.
So you know exactly how everything does everything.
Yes.
This is totally different. So I'm
Learning curve.
not totally different, but it's
Right.
so much different that I'm still on the learning curve.
Learning curve. Well, that's good for your brain. That'll help keep your brain a little sharp there. Let's hope. Keep you engaged.
Oh, wow. I
Yeah.
knew that. Maybe-
Little brain
maybe I should
power.
buy
Learn.
one
Well,
every other week.
it's all about learning new stuff. It's all about, that's what keeps your brain engaged. It doesn't work for your body so much, but
Yeah, because I know my body and parts have just, it's gone.
it's time for the recycle bin. I know. I'm getting into the habit of going to my little apartment gym here every couple of days. And then the next day, my body reminds me, it's like, yeah, you didn't know what you were doing. You just kind of pushed some weights around on a machine somewhere, and now you're going to pay for it for the next 24 hours. Maybe you want to learn how to do that right. So
Now, do you stretch before you do exercises?
right before, no, but just so you don't get all over my case, I do have a little stretching routine that I do every morning when I get out of bed. So I kind of, but yeah, but if you're asking when I go to the gym, do I stretch first? No, I do not. And that's, I'm sure, a piece of the problem. Yeah.
Now, see, my son will tell me he goes, well, here's I'll give you his actual speech.
Of course.
Dad, you need to exercise.
Yes.
But you must stretch before you exercise. And I get through the stretches and I'm done. I can't go any further.
That's it. I get through the stretches. That's enough exercise for me. I have had
That
enough
was exercise.
Yes, I totally get it. And that's what and in the morning, I do the same. I mean, I just in the last, now I've been doing it for years. I mean, yeah, years, this little routine that I have. But literally just in the last month, I've added a new exercise, stretch, whatever. It's kind of an exercise kind of a thing. And it's really, really super simple, but I do notice that it helps the hips and the knees a lot, where I'll just stand up and hold on to a chair or something for balance, and then hold one leg straight out and then behind me and then to the side and all of that. And it hurts like hell. So I know it must be working. So, yeah. So there you go. You know, I don't want to get old. I don't want to get old. I know, I understand that it's kind of like Thanos. It's inevitable, but I'm still going to fight it every step of the way.
Oh, I hate when people videotape me now because I am so stiff. And I walk like an old man. I move like an old man. And in a video, you can say, oh my God,
Right.
that looks like a 110-year-old man walking across the yard.
Yep. I hear that. Now, I am blessed and lucky in that I still do occasionally when I don't overdo, because I overdo things for some reason. My brain probably still thinks, oh, sure, you're just 22 years old still. And your body goes, hell no, you're not. But, you know, I'll go and play pickleball or whatever. So I'm blessed and grateful that I can still do that stuff. And at the same time, I'm like, okay, I need to be a little more mindful of the stretching and the warm up beforehand, and, you know, the warm shower now and then and all of that. Cause yeah, I hate that when it's the next day and it's like, yeah, your body's reminding you, yeah, you played pickleball a lot yesterday and maybe you should have taken better care of me. So yeah. Okay. I get it.
Yeah.
Old age.
I still feel like I'm 45 unless I look in the mirror.
I hear that.
Oh God, do I hate looking in the mirror anymore?
I know. I don't like it.
I'm old.
Well, I got no answers for you. I got, you know, I mean, well, whatever. I hear you. So it's going to happen for all of us. The only question is are you going to do it gracefully or not? You know, or are you going to go down kicking and whining?
Like little kids. Oh, he's only 8, but he thinks like, he's 20.
Right.
I go, I think like I'm 40, but I look like I'm 150.
All right, folks, you tell us what's your best advice for not getting old. That's maybe we should do a whole hour on that someday. Best advice for not getting eat better food. I what goes in your mouth is 99% of everything. Eat better food, for gosh sakes.
Okay. Just here in closing, I'm going to let you know yesterday.
Yes.
Went to one of these wing joints, and I know wings are not good for you. So and they were quite well too. I ordered the cauliflower wings.
I've had those, and you're right. They're not bad, but I am beyond a shadow of a doubt sure that it's got nothing to do with the cauliflower inside. It's got everything to do with the sauces and the grease and the whatever on the outside that make them probably not your best choice. But
thanks a lot. You ruined that experience now.
Ruin the cauliflower wings. And that's hard to do.
Going. You know what? I think from now on, I'm going to have these.
The cauliflower wings. Is there, I hate to say, no, I don't hate to say this. I might offer you the suggestion of checking the nutritional value if they have that on their menu. They might not.
It's cauliflower, damn it.
I understand that, but was it deep fried, right? Tell me it's not deep fried cauliflower.
Yes.
Yes.
With sauce.
Yes. With that high fructose corn syrup sauce all over it. So, yeah.
It was healthy, damn it. You be quiet and let's just move on.
Okay. All right. Next week on Health Tips with BJ and Bill, more. That's you eating cauliflower wings is as bad as Bill eating a cauliflower pizza. You know, a cauliflower crust pizza.
I had one of those last week too.
Just shoot me now. Just put an end to it. I mean, no. If I am going to burn those calories, not burn. If I am going to jump off the bandwagon that badly, I'm having the real thing, damn it. I'm having the real pizza. I'm sorry. I just am. Now, I haven't had one in a while. I mean, pretty good.
Now, I will tell you this.
What?
I prefer the cauliflower crust. And actually, I thought it was a little crispier. And I enjoyed it. But I wonder if I would answer the question correctly if it costs $4 extra.
Yes.
But the gentleman, you know, because I go to Blaze Pizza. I don't know if you ever heard that. I don't know if they're up north. I don't know if they're all around.
We have one right up the street.
They put whatever you want on your pizza.
Yes.
And they make it for you.
Yes.
So I went to a Blaze Pizza and they go, "Would you like the cauliflower crust?" I go, "Yeah." And they go, "Are you?" Well, I ordered it myself, and I go, "Is this because you prefer or you're allergic?"
And
I go, "Prefer."
Good question.
And then we were looking at the bill, and it charged me $4. Well, I said, maybe if you would have said allergic, it would have been $0 or less. So I'm going to try that next time. I'm going to say, I need
right.
cauliflower crust.
Right. And then they say, "Oh, it's for medical purposes. It's $40 more." Is that going to be covered by your insurance? Have you got Part B? Yeah. All right. So, all right. So cool. So cauliflower pizza crust, Blaze Pizza. I'll go try it. Maybe not.
Now, I don't know. That's one because we were talking about it costing more. And I go, I don't think I'd get it again because it costs more. But I did tell my wife I liked it better. And I don't know if it's because of cauliflower or maybe they just cooked it too long. But it had a more, because I like that. I like a crunchy crust.
Okay.
It was a lot of crunch to the crust.
Interesting. I have a Sam's Club run on my calendar this afternoon because, oh my God, there's no coffee in this house. I used the last coffee this morning to make my pot of coffee this morning, and I'm out. So that means there will be a grocery run this afternoon. And I think the reason I mentioned Sam's, I think I've seen they have them in their freezer case. I think you can buy them a 1-pack or a 3-pack or something like that. So I might. I'm not promising, but I will look to see if they have a cauliflower crust pizza at Sam's Club. And if they do, I'll think about it.
They
That's all
do
I'm saying.
because I mean, at least I know like in Publix and BJ's and things like that, when you look at the frozen foods,
Right.
almost all of them that sell frozen pizza nowadays is selling at least one with the cauliflower crust.
Yes, you're right. I've seen them. I know they're out there. So
Now, I don't know if that will be as crunchy, the frozen type, but I know the one I had at Blaze the other day was definitely a little bit more crunchy than the normal one.
I'll keep
But
my
Blaze
eyes
is a pretty thin crust, though.
I'll keep my eyes open for it. I will. All right, ladies and gentlemen, whatever pizza crust you love, go out and find some today, because just make it a great day regardless. So anyway, any last thoughts, Mr. Odom?
Nope. I'm just all getting my stomach all in shape for Thanksgiving.
Okay. Good plan. Good
Now,
plan.
here's what I do.
What?
I know we're running out of time, but
No,
quickly.
you're fine.
I go through the line and I get just a little bit of each thing.
Right.
And then I try it all.
Right.
And then whatever I like, I go back and get either one or two more of whatever I really liked.
Of course. Of course. Yeah. I mean,
But
you
I
have
just
to.
get like a real little, I mean, the smallest serving, like almost a tablespoonful.
Okay.
So I try everything and I go, oh, that's really good. Oh, because usually at a Thanksgiving dinner, you have like Amy's, mother will bring something.
Right.
Susan will bring something.
Right.
Amy will make something. Gentry will have things delivered. But
Right.
we'll sit there, and so I go, because I don't know what other people make and what. So I go, oh yeah, that's good. I got to go back and get more.
Okay. All right. There's a
Instead
plan.
of going, I think I'm going to like this, so I'm going to get more now. Then you
Right.
go, oh my God, I don't know who made this, but it sucks.
And then you're stuck with it on your plate and you have to like carry it around for the rest of the day. I totally
Yeah.
get it. I do. All right, everybody. Yes. Have a wonderful Thanksgiving. Be thankful for something. Just something, anything. It doesn't matter. Just do that. We'll see you next week. Have a great week, everybody. And until then, it's just up to BJ to say,
See ya.
With Lucky Land Slots, you can get lucky just about anywhere.
Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to... Has anyone seen the bride and groom?
Sorry, we're here. We were getting lucky in the limo and we lost track of time.
No, Lucky Land Casino, with cash prizes that add up quicker than a guest registry.
In that case, I pronounce you lucky.
Play for free at LuckyLandSlots.com. Daily bonuses are waiting. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+. Terms and conditions apply. See website for details.